When dogs and cats and lot of animals, when they get injured or very sick, they isolate themselves. They go away from their home or their space. They go away from the crowd. They belong. And that penguin who is getting very viral for heading towards the mountain, going away from the crowd. What the fuck? You see, I know shooting videos at night can be a little bit spooky, but mice, they don't scare me that much as frogs do. But I think we are getting very much away from the topic. So we were talking about the penguin. Yeah, that penguin who was heading towards the mountain, and people were so amazed by it without thinking much about the result, that penguins, they don't survive by themselves, right? They if they have to survive, they have to live in the crowd, right? But that penguin living the crowd might somehow lead to his death, right? Or that's why it is called as a death path for the penguin. Being alone is not a very survival instinct thing for penguins, and he does that. So I think people praise that penguin so much because even we do have tendencies to isolate ourselves, right? We do isolate ourselves from people we love, maybe friends, parents. We do isolate ourselves too, maybe to satisfy our introvert, maybe when we feel misunderstood, or when life feels too much. We do make at times distance from people we love, and we distance ourselves from everybody just because that is comforting. Because at times you feel sad, you feel exhausted without any reason, you at times feel agony without any reason, maybe. And that heaviness in chest which persists for a really weird long time, and that you know feeling in your gut which constantly makes you feel like you're gonna vomit, or there is something wrong with your stomach, but there is like literally nothing wrong with your stomach, but actually things are really messed up in your head and you can't really talk about it to anyone. So you isolate yourself because acting like you're happy in front of people is exhausting, right? So I think isolation is, or maybe we can say that that penguin was so much appreciated for walking alone away from the crowd, because the concept of not being afraid of loneliness is really appreciated with that penguin walking towards the mountain, and not really the fact that he's going to be dead. That's sad. Maybe that penguin was really depressed or something. Okay, so I wrote something on that, being lonely and going towards the mountain thing. And here it is. I have written this over my dump journal. So I'm gonna be looking at this way. Okay, bear with me just for a while. So bear with me for a few minutes. When life makes it difficult to pick between logic and emotions, when telling someone that I don't feel okay, even if I don't feel okay is just a sentence, it feels too much. When facing people becomes exhausting because you have to act like you are just being yourself, but you are not. When you feel like a burden, when you feel like you're a burden for everybody around you, when you feel like you're too much, when you feel lonely even when you're in crowd, when you feel unloved and worthless among your people, among your loved ones, you head towards the mountain. And that's it. That's it for today, guys. Bye bye.